Buddy, and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Corey Baumeister. I'm with the man, Todd Anderson.
I was going to say, are you not going to introduce me?
I was waiting for you to say
Allow me to introduce myself. My man. How's it going?
Not too bad. How about you?
Doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Had a really great weekend here this past weekend in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I'm finally home, and I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm always a big fan of your commentary. I was watching.
Oh, thanks.
I was watching. You crushed it.
We had a little bit of internet troubles. Unfortunately, every 30 seconds or so, there was a 2-second skip or something like that.
Yeah. It's because Todd was tweeting too much and using up all the Wi-Fi, so... So we're going to be playing a lot of fun standard decks, but before we get into that, I just want to mention that we are sponsored by Carnox Chairs. Go ahead and check those out at carnox.com/SCG Tour, and you can...
Close.
Dang it.
Carnox.com/SCG, you get 10% off if you use that specific web address, carnox.com/SCG.
I was close. I knew there was no chance I was going to nail the first intro.
That's fine.
So
You're killing it.
So we're going to be trying 6 different standard decks that we found to be either interesting or good from this last SCG in Worcester. And we're going to see really what prevails. We have Aaron Barrett's SCG winning list in the mix here at the end. See if it is as good as you think. What was your opinion on it?
I thought that the card choices were really interesting. Chandra Spitfire doesn't really fit into the mold of the previous iterations, but I like the idea of closing games quickly when your opponents aren't interacting with you, and I think that's exactly what that type of card was supposed to do in that situation. You'll notice from the list specifically, there's only 1 copy of Experimental Frenzy in the main deck, and then there's 3 more in the sideboard, so Aaron does go up to 4 total, whenever it calls for it. But in game 1, it's all about low to the ground, trying to kill your opponent as quickly as possible. Kind of your more traditional mono red before we got this powerful tool of Experimental Frenzy. Yeah,
and I thought that was interesting because I feel like Experimental Frenzy is a really good game 1 card. So I feel like maybe... I don't know. Moving forward, I would think about maybe 1 or 2 Chandra Spitfire and like 3 Experimental Frenzy. Maybe I'm just an old timer and I like the card too much.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So if you really look at how the metagame was building up to the event, you'll see a whole lot of ramp decks, a whole lot of Risen Reef, and not a lot of spot removal. And cards like Experimental Frenzy shine against people who are hitting you spot removal.
Exactly.
Chandra Spitfire shines when your opponent has very little in the way of actually interacting with you, and can close the game just incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
And so having the ability to pivot there once you know the matchup, but being more situated for beating these Risen Reef decks, I think that was a really great metagame call, personally.
I think so, too. And I just think the keyword flying is incredibly good right now. Yep. Just, sailing over vampires, over these Risen Reef decks and stuff like that.
It's really weird you get to sail over vampires.
I know, it seems weird.
Only one of them even gets flying in the whole deck.
To be fair, they are the ones sailing, usually, right? I guess that's more pirates.
I guess, they're kind of like... In the Ixalan lore, they're very piratey. They're conquistadors and stuff, right?
They're sailing, but they're in the bottom of the boat because of the sun, of course.
No, they're actually daywalkers. I learned this. If you look at...
I don't know anything.
Yeah. No, it's weird. They don't act like normal vampires.
Yeah.
Like vampires from wherever Soren's from, Innistrad, they can't go out in the sun. But vampires from Ixalan can.
Yeah, there are a lot more lit up cards.
Yeah. They're the sparkly vampires. And
the one from Innistrad are just dark, shadowy figures.
So we got 6 decks on the docket, but first up, you're actually going to be playing a deck that you're planning on playing this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a little Jund Dinos, and the reason I'm playing it is very similar to the reasons you gave why Chandra Spitfire was good. There's very little spot removal. This deck is heavily relying on Martyring Raptor and the Huntmaster to live to really be able to catapult your stuff. And if the metagame is a bunch of cast downs and lightning strikes and stuff like that, it's not great. But right now, I think it's a perfect time, especially with Ross Merriam getting a lot of blue into the metagame right now.
Yeah, if you look at the way the Dinosaur deck is built, it focuses on these 8 2-drop creatures that if either one survives, your deck just goes into hyperdrive.
Exactly.
Ultipec Huntmaster can give Rotting Regisaur haste, but specifically Rotting Regisaur is actually quite good against spot removal, because if your opponent tries to kill it, great. You don't have to discard cards, and you only spent 3 mana into it, right?
Yep.
But if they don't kill it, you start chunking them in the face. And if they're red-based removal, 6 toughness is a lot. Yeah, it's a crazy amount.
And that's the thing is, like, this deck is trying to take advantage of mono red in the sense where the creatures are just too big to deal with.
Right.
And it's taking advantage of these blue-based tempo decks with shifting Ceratops. So that combination... And just any other creature-based deck like Risen Reef, Ripjaw Raptor is good. So I always say when either Rotting Regisaur, Ripjaw Raptor, or Shifting Ceratops is good against a certain deck, the deck is good against it.
Yeah.
And if we don't see a bunch of cast downs, this deck kind of runs away with it. But this is a close matchup that we're about to play.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say this: cast down was really not prevalent this past weekend. You know, there was like a couple decks that had 1 or 2 main and maybe 1 or 2 sideboard, but for the most part, you know, we saw a lot of Simic in various forms. You know, Bant won the Classic. Even Teferi Time Raveler wasn't out in force like it has been in the past, and Esper, all forms of Esper just got clapped.
They did.
Just got smushed.
I mean, there was a lot of them, and I mean, frankly,
and a lot of great players playing it too.
Exactly. Yeah. I played, like, me and Pete Ingram and Rossum were all talking about Esper Hero. I played in the Mox playoff. I went 1-4, and I got a bye round 1, so I got clapped bad. I know Pete did basically the same. I was actually testing with Zach Allen a lot, trying to make the Bant deck work, but I was playing against mono blue and blue-based tempo so much. Yeah. But I know that deck quite well, and it is also very strong, but it has some problems.
Sure. Yeah. So we're going to be playing the Gen Dinos deck up first here against one of my favorite decks in the format in Temur Elementals.
Like yeah.
So this isn't the Neoform version, but this is the one that performed the best this past weekend. Was this Paul Muller's list, or was this was there one in top 8 that you grabbed?
It was the one in top 8. I want to say I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name.
Okay.
But yeah, he top 8'd. He was in first in the leaderboard, going up. Jeremy
Bertarioni?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, he top 8'd with this list.
The Classic?
Yep.
Okay, it's the Classics list.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe it was him and Edgar that were working on the Temur Elemental list from Lotus Box.
Sure. Yeah, we had Bertarioni on camera a couple times, and his list looked okay. I don't think he made day 2, obviously playing the Classic, but they made some changes, and then he made top 8 of Classic, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So this iteration, though, we're going to be really low to the ground. We got a lot of mana-producing creatures. Obviously, Risen Reef, Omnath, Locust of the Royal, as well as a couple pieces of spot removal with Lava Coil.
Yeah.
The Planeswalkers are going to be focusing on Nissu, Shakes the World, as opposed to those red Planeswalkers. I know that there was an iteration in the top 8 of the Open that had 6 red Planeswalkers, 4 Acolyte of Flame to pair with the Risen Reef. But that version was a little wonky.
Yeah. And I also think Big Chandra is just not that good right now. I mean, if there was a lot... If it was a lot...
Be countered.
That's true, but I mean... Even against these Esper decks where it's really good against, it's just there's so much unconditional life gain with like Elite Guard Mage, Basilica Bell Hunts and stuff like that you can just kind of race it. As weird as it sounds.
The emblem is not that problematic. It's usually the second or third emblem that starts to get annoying. Yeah. And then, but you know, the Chandra is surviving for multiple turns. Like you just got to keep using the minus to clear and yada yada. I quite like in the elemental decks because it's a one-sided wrath for your opponent if you're playing against like a mid-range or an aggressive matchup, which is kind of cool, and it can't be countered. So if you're playing against a blue-based control deck or whatever, like even after sideboard, if they have Disdainful Stroke or Veto, it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
so.
And it's impossible to be bad. It's not a bad card at 6 mana. It's going to do powerful things, but I just don't think it's at the quite power level that you want. And this deck is quite powerful already, and you can't beat Nissa. Let's get real. This is insane.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the match. If you have any questions for Cora or myself, either about Standard or Magic in general, or life in general.
Or life, yeah. We like life questions.
Hit us with @SCG Tour in the chat. And Director Kyle, say hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
He's going to be taking y'all's questions and fielding them for us. Let me know if we have anything. Just like hold up a finger for me.
All right.
All right, cool.
We'll do.
Hold up 3 fingers if it's for me, okay?
What do I do for 2 fingers?
That just means
those
peace,
are
baby.
for both.
That's
okay.
peace, baby.
Okay.
All right. Let's go and get to the games.
Let's do it.
You want a high roll?
So I'm after your marbles, right?
I don't have the marbles.
You
Ross has the
lost?
marbles. Yeah.
So first,
I played against you. Okay. I played against you on Thursday, remember?
Yeah.
I didn't have the marbles then.
Well, I thought you would have got it from him in playtesting throughout the weekend or something.
What? No, we only play on camera.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm going to high roll.
All right.
Ooh,
that's quite high. How lucky. All right.
Not very good. Haha.
Yeah. Also, big shout out to Ross for taking second. That was a brutal game 3. The mold of 5 always hurts on the game 3 of the finals.
Yeah.
But still, congrats, buddy, out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's throw up some Ross emotes there for him, right?
Yeah, I think he has an emote.
He's got one. I like his.
Yeah, what's his? I don't even know what it is.
I think it's just him going like...
It was probably the face he made when I knocked on his deck and he peeled, was it not Banefire?
Yeah.
Was it Banefire?
I'm not sure. Is
Whichever
yours
one's the
only
uncountable?
Roll Todd?
Yeah, it's just me going...
Yeah, I like
What a
that
Roll
one.
Todd, I
Just
don't
rolling, laughing.
Yeah.
I'm still... Kyle, do I have one yet?
No, of course not. You just got here.
I was-
You know what? It took me 8 years to get an emote,
I was trying to
okay?
say it on camera so I could,
Yeah.
expedite the process. Okay,
Right.
Thanks for busting me.
Oh, that's fine. Look, man, no free rides in this place. I am taking a London Mulligan.
A London Mulligan. I'm gonna keep. My hand is not spectacular though.
I'm in the same boat. My hand's also not spectacular, so but I will keep. I'm gonna put back one of my payoffs. So I have 2 Risen Reefs and a Cavalier of Thorns and a Nissa and 3 lands. And since I have the 2 Risen Reefs, I think I want to keep the Cavalier over the Nissa. So okay.
So I kept this hand basically on the fact of commune with the dinosaurs. Now I don't have what you really want in one of the form of the 2-drops here, but I hopefully can find one, and the rest of the cards are pretty strong.
Happening?
What's up?
Are you just playing?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You've taken your second turn. That's fine. Go ahead.
No, you're first.
Right, but you were just taking your turn like I had gone, which is fine.
Sorry, I thought you already.
Yeah, because you even drew a card, so yeah.
Okay,
You were just
so we're
under
gonna
the
go
assumption I had gone.
and we hit the money. That's exactly what we wanted
Cool.
here. One of the red drops is so important to have on turn 2. You almost always want to aggressively mulligan to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, your turn. Now our hand's a little clunky.
Unfortunately, Commune with the Dinosaurs doesn't get the artifact Hunt Master.
Exactly, yep. So you really, this is the main thing to do. So most of the time you don't want to rely on this. But our hand was quite strong outside of that, so I think that was enough. All right, so now we can... So it's a little awkward with our mana base here. We don't have double green, so that does limit us a little bit here. So we're going to go... Raptors.
Okay.
Ping, attack for 6.
14.
All right. Your turn. 13. Or attack for... 6, never mind. Mathematics.
Okie dokie, artichokey.
My hand is not very good outside of that, though, I promise you. I promise.
Okay. All right. We're going to go to 12.
Okay.
I'm going to play a Cavalier of Thorns, trigger the Risen Reef.
Yep.
First.
Quite good.
Land, trigger the Cavalier.
Yep.
4, 5. All right, these go to the grave. Sure go. It's just Elf, Omnath, and 2 lands.
So we are going to discard here. We're going to discard a Galta.
That's making us real bad.
No.
All you need is a second green. You're golden.
That's true, but we didn't get it. We'll get him in there. Getting busy.
I'm gonna block here.
All right.
Yeah, because the Colossus only gives +2 toughness, right? Ooh, am I dead?
Yeah. 12s. Exactsies.
Okay.
Do I get an emote now?
I mean, I was just gonna steal your board next turn, but no big deal.
No big deal.
Oh man.
Well, you would have only been able to steal 2 creatures, and then I had another Collision Colossus. So.
Okay.
How'd you covered? Todd loves dinos as much as I do, right, buddy?
Kill me on turn 4.
I know. This deck it very consistently kills on turn 4. But, like I said, it's kind of I wouldn't say a glass cannon because we don't have glass cannons and stuff.
That deck is not a glass cannon.
Yeah, but
that deck just smushes you with a wide variety of different draws that all feature giant monsters.
But you need one of the creatures, otherwise it doesn't smush you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that,
sure. That's like saying your green deck's a little slow if you don't have one of your 8 mana accelerators, right?
That's true. That's true.
Like that game, I didn't play anything on 1 or 2, and yeah, I died on turn 4.
Yep. And you were on the play. If I was on the play, it's like you were dead much quicker. Or if I had another green source, I had Galta, shifting Ceratops,
Wait, if you were on the play and you had a second green source, sorry. If you just had a second green source on turn 3, you could have gone Regisaur Galta on turn 3, right? No.
So it would have been 6 power, cost 2 less.
No, I'm wrong.
8,
I'm wrong.
9, 10. No.
Wait.
Not quite.
Yes, on turn 4, not turn 3.
No, wait. I could have done it on turn 3. Yeah, because the martyr.
No, because it only makes it cost 1 less. So you have to spend 2 of your 3 lands.
Yep. Yeah, but it costs 4. But yeah, turn 3. I don't think Galta is actually possible on turn 3, but still.
Oh, not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude.
All right, here for game 2. I'm going to keep a hand with a Temple of Mystery that's a little lackluster, but if I draw a red source, it's probably pretty good.
I'm going to keep the Stone Cold Nuts.
Woof. Your turn.
I'm going to take it.
Yep.
Communicate with all the dinosaurs. All right, so we are looking for a land. We got only lands. It's just which ones do we want? Might as well get ourselves a dino land since it does it all. Put these at the bottom. Done?
Yeah.
All right. Dinos. We got the Marduing Raptor, or as I mispronounce it quite often, the Mardu Raptor.
It's marauding.
I know.
Okay. You said the Marduing Raptor, or however I mispronounce it, Marduing Raptor.
I like to give a wide variety of how I'm going to mispronounce cards before I do.
Shock.
Okay. All right, so my hand still has some
Deal 2
problems
to you.
here.
I'm at 18.
No,
So
I'm at 16.
Anada's not very good in this matchup because
It's not the
I
best.
need a lot of elemental to kill something.
But, I mean, if this was Ojutai Huntmaster, that was insane.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, I think it's a little bit of give and take.
The old Ojutai.
The old OG. The old OG.
It is so scary how similar you are to Brad. Just the constant, and you mispronounce the things in just like the exact same ways too.
So when we do the podcast with me, BBD, and Brad, me and Brad are constantly mispronouncing cards, and BBD is just acting as translator.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna rip some jaws.
Okay, so
I'm
you
going
get
to
to
draw a
draw a card. And
Crunch.
block.
All right, your turn.
All right, so 18 all.
18 off.
You-
I'm at
or
16.
Did you shock?
I did. Yep. I'm at
Okay.
16.
So you're at 16. I'm at 18. I did not. I shocked once.
Okay.
And blocked. Land. Ooh, nice.
No. All right. That's pretty good.
Big boy. Hello there, big boy.
A little rude, but okay.
So it comes in untapped. I don't have anything to play for 1. We're going to just get the steam vents.
Okay.
And these go to the grave.
Our hand is still pretty strong, though.
And now if the Cavalier ever dies, I get back... go ahead. I get back either Risen Reef, Cavalier Thorns, or Omnath. Which is nice.
Wasn't a bad draw. This is kind of the edition that I've been playing recently, if we want to take a look at my hand real quick. This is a card that has not been being played a lot, and I would say it, but it's kind of important, and it's quite powerful. Okay, so we are going to do the Raptor here, and then rot him up.
Okay.
Okay, your turn.
All right. I'm just going to try to contain. This is not the most mana efficient play, but I want to keep this Raptors from getting out of control.
Smart.
And I'm going to say go.
All right, so upkeep, I'm going to have to discard. I think we don't need this that much. That's a close one, so... All right, yeah, we are going to discard one of these. Gonna...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, man.
Whoa.
All right, so we're going to...
All right.
Cast a Dominant. Do I use black dice?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to fight here. I'm going to draw a card.
Yep.
And then we're going to crunch.
Go to 11.
Take 8, go to 10.
It is 8, yes.
All
Go
right.
to 10.
Do some communing. I kind of want to land. I kind of want gasoline, so it's kind of tough. Because our hand is quite good. Yeah, we'll pick Stomping Ground and play it. Your turn.
Okay, to me that just means he has another Regisaur in hand because he discarded 1 and he kept a land.
I do not have a Regisaur in hand.
Okay, scary. Maybe Carnage Tyrant. He has something that's expensive that he's trying to get up to. And I guess, yeah, Red Star doesn't make sense because you have the Domri and odds of me killing it. I guess odds of me killing it's pretty high if I just attack it, right?
Or Omnath kills it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So this is, I might just die to Collision Colossus again, but I don't think I can beat that card no matter what. My deck's just not capable of interacting with that card in a positive way. So let's
That's
just
disgusting.
Okay. Go.
All right, so we are going to start by discarding Shifting Ceratops.
Mhm.
So shifty.
Time to get shifty. Shifty in here.
All right, so we're going to go Regisaur Alpha.
Oh, no, Richard.
I didn't have one. I had two, okay?
Oh, God.
We'll get them in there. So I'm doing this attack because this forces a block with the Elemental as well.
Yeah, it takes 3. I'm at 7.
Okay, and I'll draw a card.
Yep.
All right, and then it is your turn. I didn't have one, Todd.
Yeah, okay. Land. Oh, that's pretty darn good.
No, leave me alone.
Okay, let's go.
Shaken.
This, black dice on this. We'll untap a Steam Vents.
Okay.
Fine, just making a chump blocker here, I guess. I'm gonna go 5 mana. Tamio.
Okay.
Minus.
Get a lawnmower.
Get an elf and cast it. D4
Okay.
5.
I like it.
There you go. Just want to get the Tamio down, but that requires tapping the Steam Vents.
Discard. Ooh.
Just discarding a 7/6 with haste, huh?
Yep.
Just 3 mana 7/6 with
Just 3
haste.
mana,
It's not
7/6.
remotely close to good enough.
If I would have known what I was drawing, I think I probably would have kept that. So let's see. 3 blockers. Boom, boom, boom. Take 6. So that's not lethal. And if I attack here, goes block, 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 block. So I'm 1 short of lethal with the second Regisaur Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll just get busy at you.
So I don't know if I can block in such a way where I don't die to Collision Colossus. So like if I go here, 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 Colossus is +4 to makes it 7. So I guess I survived technically this way, but I'm chump blocking this, and that just seems like I'm not going to win the long game that way. So I'll just block like this, I guess. Really? All right,
That's why I drew that.
Let me block this way and see what happens. Because like if this is a really weird attack for me if you don't have it. Am I
7? 2 trample.
This tramples?
Yeah. 3/3 green diner token with trample.
What the hell?
I know.
Has that always been that
It does it all.
Did they just?
Or if you block here, I'd trample here. You take 7.
Yeah, I know.
There, you're just dead regardless. Collision Colossus is messed up in this deck. Wah, wah. Is this what we call rolling Todd? Roll Todd. Get it? Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you amused?
Not really. Not really. All right. Well, we're going to take just a short 3-minute break here while we get sideboards set up for you. We're going to be filling in some questions after we go over the sideboards, so make sure to get those in right now if you haven't already. We'll be right back.
All right, everybody. Welcome back here to Versus Live. We are live with the Jund Dinos versus Temur Elementals here, the very old and the new. The very old.
Prehistoric old. Yeah. Good call.
So, Todd, what do you, it looks like you are taking out too many cards and bringing in less cards. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I think I definitely want Lava Coil and Ether Gust. The trick is figuring out what cards in my deck are actually bad in this particular matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Tamio Collector of Tales is pretty solid against the slower kind of control decks like Esper, Grixis Control. Anything with Auto Razor, Tamio is going to be good because not only can you protect yourself from discard, but you can minus and bring something back that's been stripped early.
Yeah.
The plus ability on Tamio is like at its worst in this particular deck, I think, than others. But it is
Why do you say that?
just because if you look at its functionality in a Simic Nexus deck, for example, your entire goal with Tamio is to thin your deck, basically, so that you get down to just Nexus of Fate left in your deck, as well as transforming Search for Content quickly by filling your graveyard.
True.
And in this deck, it's more of a, sometimes you tick up and you hit, and that's fine. But, your deck is more of a bunch of moving pieces all mixed together and not really like any one, like you never need any one particular thing. And so like, a lot of times you're just ticking up and you're like, well, I guess our Risen Reef would be pretty good this turn. And then, if you hit it, you get to cast it, and then your deck does some stuff. But
it's more just a utility card instead of like an actual broken combo piece like it is in Nexus.
Right. So in this matchup, though, we don't really have a lot of time to utilize it. So we're going to be trimming that. And then I'm just have this really tough decision between Omnath and Incubation Druid.
Sure.
I think I'm going to cut 2 copies of Omnath and leave 2. I like the elemental theme in the deck. I like it with Risen Reef, and when you get enough going, Omnath's ability is quite strong. But I think our best bet here is to just ramp into Mass Manipulation or Big Hydroid Crisis. And Omnath, as you saw in the second game there, I just couldn't kill Marauding Raptors early on because I only had 2 elementals. And there's just not a whole, like...
You mean Murdering Raptor. Continue.
Woo! So yeah, we're cutting Dr. Cheeto hands over here.
Dr. Cheeto hands.
Look at him.
He does have the Cheeto.
He's made of Mountain Dew. He's made of Mountain Dew, and he's got Cheetos all over.
Wow.
I'm not a gamer, man.
He's a gamer.
So we're going to be trimming these 4, leaving in the 2 Incubation Druid, bringing in a couple of pieces of removal.
I like that for a couple of reasons. Your deck functions kind of a similar way like Jund Dinos. Like, you need a ramp creature, otherwise you're just too slow. So I like that.
That's fair.
So what I'm doing here is I am taking out... I do this very commonly with this deck, is taking out Domri on the draw, except against, decks that are a lot slower, like maybe Vampires, where I can actually fight the creatures. Whenever I bring in Grasp, it's just usually a better alternative to Domri. So I'm taking these out. These are cards I would also... Domri, a Bolus here, I would probably bring back in on the play. And Shifting Ceratops is just not that good. You have a decent amount of blue creatures that I can attack through, but Cavalier of Thorns is too much of a brick wall for this card that it's just not good enough.
It's also vulnerable to Lava Coil, and not a lot of your creatures are vulnerable to Lava Coil without getting some immediate value.
Exactly.
I think that I'm just going to be able to gum up the ground really easily, and Shifting Ceratops is just not a card that you really can bust through with in this matchup. I think it's phenomenal against Mono Blue, the control decks, great at attacking Planeswalkers, but most of the time when I'm playing a Planeswalker, I'm able to protect it. In one way or another, chump blocking or whatever.
Exactly. So what I'm bringing in is Noxious Grasp is unreal against any of these kind of ramp style decks, killing your early on creatures if I don't have a 2-drop to play, as well as late game dealing with Cavalier or Nissa, who shakes the world, is very big game. And then as well as having 2 Veil of Summers. This card's not the best because you do have to tap out a lot in Jund Dino, so it's not the best to have to leave 1 mana open. But once it gets to late game where Mass Manipulation is becoming a very immediate threat, you really need this card, and it's just insane against Mass Manipulation. It's just busted.
I'm not sure that I would bring it in or even think to bring it in because I have so few, but it is such an important card against you in this matchup that if you have Veil of Summer when I have Mass Manipulation, I lose.
Or it just cycles for 1 mana most of the time if you really don't want, if you need to progress your board, like draw that 5th land for Regisaur Alpha, then you just, hope you play a blue card and then just cycle it away. Not the best, because your removal is red base, so it's a lot better against, like, I've been playing against blue-black tempo a decent amount on Arena, and they have like cast downs and stuff like that. So it's great against that because it still counters the removal, but Okay.
All right. Before we get started here for game 3, let's take a few questions from chat.
Ooh. Sure. Hysteus had a question about, sideboard options for the Dino deck.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on Flame Sweep, which I think is what you have in the sideboard? And something like Raging Sword Tooth.
So I actually tested this on stream last night, and I think it is pretty interesting. But the thing about Raging Sword Tooth is it's good against vampires still, but if they have a lord, it becomes invalidated real quick. And the problem is you almost never want to take out Regisaur Alpha in the deck because it's just insane. Like, Regisaur Alpha is just one of your best dinos, so you're really clogging up that top end slot. Flame Sweep just is able to... the instant speed on this deck just adds a little extra bit of element that you really need, as well as still being able to sweep the board when they have a lord. So I tried it. Trust me out there, but it's not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think Flame Sweep is a great card. I've really liked Fiery Cannonade for a long time, but the downside of not being able to kill Fanatical Firebrand or Siren Stormtamer and now Spectral Sailor was always just the most infuriating nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, those creatures, my Goblin is a pirate. Haha.
Yeah.
Your Sweeper doesn't kill him.
I actually am not the biggest fan of Flame Sweep either, though, but I think it's a little bit of a necessary evil just because, like, you can't bring it against Blue-Green Flash where it kills half their deck but doesn't kill all of it.
Sure.
And then, Mono Blue still has, like, Tempest Shins that it doesn't kill. So I'm not a big fan, but you need it against vampires. So,
sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And Gruul actually notoriously has been pretty bad against white-based aggro decks. Like White Weenie's best matchup was Gruul last season. But now that it's more vampires and it's actually slower, it's a lot better of a matchup. But if people play traditional White Weenie Splash Blue, it's a terrible matchup.
Sure. Yeah.
Todd, how do you feel about Cavalier of Gales in the Temur deck?
I think it's really hard to cast. Obviously, Mass Manipulation costs more blue, but you're going to be casting them kind of on different time frames. You really need something like Cavalier of Gales to be cast on turn 3 or 4, and that's just not something you can reliably have triple blue for. Plus, you don't really have a lot of ways to shuffle your deck or manipulate in general, so the actual Brainstorm part of it is kind of just like a filtering effect. It does draw you one card, but it's kind of a filtering effect. Obviously, the flying's great. I think in a Neoform version of the deck, I've played one before, and I've liked it, but in this particular iteration, you're just really hard on the Green Cavalier of Thorns, and Cavalier of Thorns is phenomenal in this deck because you have so many of those big spells with Mass Manipulation and Hydroid Crisis.
Yeah, if you could shuffle it away with Neoform, it seems a lot better to kind of get the Brainstorm Sackland effect. But every time I hear Cavalier of Gales, do you ever watch Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
I just picture Gale coming into Bob's Burger and saying hello whenever you play it.
Gale was the aunt, I guess.
Yeah,
or the crazy cat lady aunt.
Yeah, her sister.
Yeah,
the mom's sister. Yeah.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah. My boyfriend didn't show up to our dinner date. I've only known him for a week, but he's my boyfriend.
Yeah. The crazy cat lady. Love the show.
What?
Nothing. That was
spot on.
That was top.
Yeah, top notch.
That's why you're moving to Hollywood.
Yeah.
You're gonna do voiceover down in California, right?
We'll see.
Any other questions for us? Or?
Histea's had one that was asked right when we went live. I didn't want to miss it. How long do you think until control decks really start to pop up? Is there enough of a meta to attack currently?
So I think control really struggles in this form of standard where we have it's 9 sets, right? 9 sets is what we're at right now. The most. What?
Just 8.
Just 8. Okay. Well, the max amount of standard sets, it's really tough for control to really pinpoint on the metagame. I think we're going to see control kind of run rampant after we rotate a couple sets out with the next set release. But right now, there's just too many cards. It's really tough for control to really be flexible around all these strategies.
So I'm going to slightly disagree because I don't. Before Core Set 2020 came out, Esper Control was just the best deck.
Yeah.
And, it went through a couple different iterations. The growing pains from going from playing the Absorb, Chemister's Insight, Search for Escanta version to the Hero Precinct 1 tapping out every single turn, trying to get bigger and bigger and bigger, Planeswalker.
Yeah.
That adaptation was so fast. It happened in a week.
Yeah.
And when a deck changes so significantly in a week, it really says something about just the overall strength of the cards and how those cards being introduced in the format change everything around it. And Teferi Time Raveler just completely threw the format on its head.
And Narset, because you can't play Chemister's Insight and stuff like that. Right. You have to use other forms of card advantage.
Yeah, but the main thing was that you went from being a control deck that had Absorb and played mostly on your opponent's turn to a control deck that plays primarily on your own turn. And that is a lot worse in this current standard format when so many cards are designed to be tapped out for every single turn. And you see these green decks just get bigger and bigger and bigger every turn, whereas the Esper Control decks just kind of stay flat. Yep. Narset, Teferi Time Raveler, all kind of on the same power level as the 5s and 6 drops outside of Command the Dreadhorde. And so you get to a spot where your opponents are literally just playing X spells on turn 6 that you can't counter because they have a 1-mana thing that says it can't be countered. Yeah. They have Planeswalkers that protect their hand, and so you can't hit them with a discard spell. And they're just going to literally outclass you, like, on every front after turn 4.
Yeah.
Mass Manipulation, just seeing a lot more play. The Temur decks with Risen Reef just are crazy, insane value town type decks. And then, of course, the mono red decks are still for Frenzy, so you have to have that in the back of your head, like at most times. So.
And one thing to add to that is this is something we commonly see in week 1 of Standards, mono red taking it down. A very fast, linear strategy. And then, towards like week 3, week 4, the week 1 deck tends to not be that good anymore because these control decks do find a metagame that they can directly challenge. But I don't know if it's possible with this many sets in. Of course, we're going to find some deck that's going to rise to the top, and BBD is still going to crush with Esper Hero until the day he is buried. But
I mean, wasn't he number 1 at the beginning of this month or whatever?
I think he just stays there. I think they just let him stay to stop the King of the Hill.
He can't go past 5. Like he loses 5 in a row, and he's just like, I guess I'm in 5th place.
Can't lose.
I had plus 21s on 4th place, so like I only dropped 1 spot.
Did you hear my boy won Twitch Rivals and Fandom last week?
What?
Both.
BBD?
Wow.
Won both. Nice.
Yep.
That's crazy.
This is the BBD show, sponsored by BBD.
The Dizzler.
The Dizzle show.
Dizzler is an old-time compatriot of old-time friend of Versus Live. Back in 2012, I started.
In the day.
2012, I started playing Versus Live, or Versus with BBD on the free side of Star City. My hand is Poop Soup.
Poop soup, huh?
But I'm going to keep it.
My hand is also some version of brothy soup. So I want you all to take a look at my hand here real quick. This is a hand that looks like it is somewhat keepable because we have a 2-mana removal spell, we have a 3-drop that we can cast, and then we have some big dinos, but this type of hand is a trap.
Yes.
You really have to mulligan aggressively to one of your 2-drops here. You just can't do it on just going dino. Like, this isn't good when you play it on turn 3. You're discarding too much of your hands.
If either of these cards was a 3rd land, I think there is a good argument to keep. Because you can turn 2 Noxious Grass, turn 3 Regisaur.
Yeah. I mean, 3rd land and like a 4-drop, fine. But we're going to be playing a 3-drop. We're going to discard these before we can actually cast them.
Right. And that's you need to be really fast out of the gates with Regisaur or Rotting Regisaur, and that requires one of those 2-drops.
Exactly. And Rotting Regisaur without an Ojutai's Huntmaster discards an extra card. Okay. I mean, you only need...
I don't want to keep correcting you.
It's Rotting Regisaur, right?
No, yes.
Yes.
It is Otapek's Huntmaster.
Oh, it's Otapek?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Ojutai is the little dragon.
I just call it Huntmaster.
That's fine. As for protocol, how would you like me to... Would you like me to just let it go? I will just always let it go if you want.
You know what? I think let it go because let's get real. Right. Twitch chat is going to be correcting me out there. Fair. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. I just
bring it up every time. Bring it up every time. Because
Every time?
Every video I have, the comment section, the first most liked comment is always like, it is pronounced conquistador, not her. Yeah, I'll get it.
Just going to let it go. Just let it
go. Okay.
It's conquistador.
I know.
All right, Elfie.
I gotta put something on the bottom.
All right.
No, I can't cast this card right now, even though it is very good. But I think we're just gonna put this on the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna go. Your turn.
Womp. That was best possible. Okay.
Oh, great.
Leafkin, Breeding Pool, go.
Okay. All right. So now we have options. We have one elemental, so we're a little afraid of
Omni?
Cheeto hands, as you like to call them.
Oh, Cheeto hands, Mountain Dew face.
Old Cheeto hands. Now it's almost always
Mr. Baja.
Yeah, we're naming dinosaurs.
It's a Doritos Locos Tacos combo.
Your turn.
Oh, man. We're having a good one.
We're having a good one.
Shock, I'm going to coil that and attack for 1.
That's better than old Omnath.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at 18?
Yeah, and you're at 19.
Okay.
Go.
All right, so here we really want to land. So we're going to commune.
Okay.
All right, so we hit it.
People like Doritos Locos Tacos combo number 2.
Go.
All right, we're going to make a 4/4 and draw 2 cards and get 2 life. I'm back up to 20.
Okay. It's pretty strong.
Pretty strong, sis.
All right, so now we are going to have a little bit of a spicy turn here.
Oh, no.
Raptors, trigger.
Uh-oh.
Take 2.
Oh, gonna draw 2 cards. Oh.
All right. So trigger.
So
attack.
this one is an 8.
8,
and this one is a 6.
6. Yep.
All right, we'll block the 8.
The 8. Okay, so take 6.
Yeah.
Do I attack
12.
with this as well? I got to attack with this too.
14.
You can get a free
Should I just
block
go to
if you
4?
want. You can take
Yeah, I'm just
14.
going to go 4. That's fine. Keep my 4/4 around.
Okay.
I'm just going to die to your closing clauses every time anyway, okay? It just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter. That card is good.
Okay.
So that's a lot of damage, folks. That is a nice one.
Green, blue. All right, let's go Risen Reef.
The reef has been risen.
Hey, don't the alpha dies, right? Because 2 damage from each raptor.
Actually, both.
Oh, actually, both would die.
Let's start a turnover because
Okay,
you
yeah.
should not
'Cause
do
I couldn't
that.
do that, yeah.
And also, okay.
Just kidding. Okay. Yeah, so I just go Regisaur Alpha and just attack.
Something like that.
Yep. Sorry about that, chat. That is my bad.
Okay, yeah, because if you play the other one, yeah, these die. That's
Yeah.
fair.
So I would
Okay.
just do this. I would just attack with this for 6.
So attack for 6. I'm at 18 before.
Or you were at
blocks.
20, right?
No, I shocked one.
Okay, sure.
Oh no, I did go back
You
to
gained
20.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're at 20.
Okay, 2017, and you're attacking for 6.
6, yep.
I will block.
Okay. Your turn. Oh, that was bad.
Okay. All right. And I think I've already drawn for turn. I am all confuzzled.
Confuzzled, yep.
And one of these lands was the land I hit off Risen Reef. I think this was. You threw me off.
Sorry.
You messed me
I
up.
threw myself off.
Okay. All right. See, I'm pretty sure this needs to come in untapped.
Okay.
But whatever. I'm just gonna act like I don't remember what was what, so I'm just gonna do this off the top. This
Okay.
is in my hand. Scry, keep this on top.
Okay.
Shock to
18.
yeah. No, Omnath, your token.
That seems strong.
I'm gonna go to 18. That dies, and then I'll draw this.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right.
Pretty sure I didn't cheat that turn. I played a land. I got a land off Risen Reef. It wasn't necessarily in the correct order because he threw my turn out.
Yeah, that was my bad.
But it's okay.
That was my
No,
bad.
it was a good catch by chat
Yeah.
for sure. So it's
I was
important.
going to say, that turn was way too good. All right, we're going to go Raptor here.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger. Then we'll get on in there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm at 18, so I can take this 11 and just trade here.
Yeah, you can.
My hand doesn't have an elemental though, so I think I just want to protect my life total. So we'll just take the 4.
Okay, so put you to 14.
Yeah.
I lose the Marauding Raptor. Your turn. Now, we picked up a pretty decent draw
I'm
here.
gonna steal both your creatures.
Oh, no. Okay.
Your turn.
Does not matter now.
They big.
They big. We did. Gross. Gross. I guess we'll go like this and say go.
All right, I'm gonna discard.
Cast this. Okay. That's where we needed that Veil of Summer. That's for sure.
Yeah. Attack for this many.
I'll take 11 down to 6. Yeah, not anything we can do to get out of this now.
I don't think there's that much you can do.
No.
I'm gonna coil one of the things.
Okay.
Your turn.
Oh, yeah.
Nice one. Nice one. All right, here's your big boys back. Man, those cards are pretty good.
They are good. Why don't you should play them in your deck more often? Yeah.
Well, I was trying to. Both the previous games, I just died before I could cast them.
Yep.
Cast them to my side.
All right, we got time for one more?
I believe so.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, we got.
For up to me, I'd play Dinos all day.
Yeah. We did a little bit of chit chats, before we got started today. So we got some. We'll play one more, even if we don't really have that much time.
Sounds great.
Anything while we're shuffling up, Mr. Kyle?
No, I think everyone's just talking about the misplay.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Thanks,
Well,
y'all.
they're over it now.
Okay,
But-
that's fair.
Sorry, chat. That was my bad.
No, Marauding Raptors does have a technical drawback.
It does.
The drawback
It does.
is the second one kills
Sometimes an
everything
advantage,
almost.
but
Yeah.
most of the time a drawback. Yep.
Doesn't kill Well, it doesn't kill Ripjaw Raptor, which is a big deal.
Yes. 2 of them don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get to draw the double cards.
Doesn't kill Rotting Regisaur.
Like I said, on the play, I want to bring these back in because they're very good on the play and a lot worse on the draw.
And this is actually, we do want to play at least one game with you on the play because you've been on the draw all 3 games because I kept losing.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Well, you're going to be on the play.
No, you're on the play the first. Or yeah.
I was on the play all 3.
Yep.
So far. So, my 7, no red and a bunch of green and an Omnath.
Snap it off.
It is very close to the hand I kept last game, and I think I got really lucky to win last game, so I'm just going to toss it back. I drew Hydro Crazy as my first draw when I had just Elf, Leafkin, lands or whatever. I had a Lava Coil and a Mass Manipulation or whatever, and I was just I just need to draw a payoff.
Sure.
And I just drew the payoff. I was like, oh, man.
So this hand is also a mulligan here. I have 4 lands, a Veil of Summer, a Commune with the Dinosaurs, and then Regisaur Alpha. So I'm looking to commune into a Marauding Raptor, and then I really don't have a good follow-up, even if that happens.
Yeah.
And Veil of Summer is something I want to draw late, so aggressively mulligan with this deck. I can't say it enough. You really want to make sure to get your powerful draws. And with London Mulligan rule, it really incentivizes them all.
Okay. My first mulligan here contains 5 lands and 2 spells, but one of those lands is a Temple of Mystery.
Temple of Tilt?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to keep, and we're just going to be using that on turn 1 to kind of dig for one of those mana accelerators, but we're going to put back one of our shock lands.
Yeah, and I think I have to keep this one. It's a little rough, of course. We are missing something here. But I'd rather not go to 5, and if we do hit what we need, it's going to be quite strong. So we're going to risk this.
Do you think there's any merit to maybe playing Incubation in that deck too, in addition to Commune with Dinosaurs? So just
Incubation Druid?
No, Incubation Incongruity.
Oh.
Just to have more waste on 1 to dig for one of the creatures.
That's interesting.
It doesn't find a land, so there is a pretty significant drawback if you miss.
Yeah, but the deck is mostly creatures. So no, I think that's actually very interesting. Might try that out. Maybe a 2 of. Having
just
6
a 5th or 6th one of that. Just more lands, we're fine just putting those on the bottom. We just want to hit a Mana Accelerator or a Lava Coil or something.
We did not hit our red source here, so we are in a bit of trouble.
Or I'm going to play Steam, sorry.
Okay. Your turn. We in trouble.
Well, my hand is not good.
Yeah.
I have a Risen Reef and 3 Hydroid Crazes.
All right.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Land! We're dead. Your turn.
No, I wanted to have a real game where we're both kind of pecking at each other.
Yeah.
Right, one you.
If I had a red source in the top 3 cards, it would have been quite strong.
Your turn.
But discard.
Yeah. We'll try to make this one quick. Set you for.
We'll try to make this quick. Take 1.
1. Make a 4/4. Draw 2.
Yep.
Here you go.
And that's it.
All right. That was unfortunate. But
unfortunate.
Sometimes you got to gamble even on the moles to 6. Going to 5 there might not have been worthwhile just because of the way your hand was set up.
Yeah. And it was close. I had Marauding Raptor, Domri, and then 2 Regisaur Alphas with 2 green black lands. So if I hit a red source, my hand is insane.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have mulliganed and took my own advice and aggressively mulligan a little bit more there. But we're risking it.
But I mean, with Rotting Regisaur and playing against a post sideboard configuration of most decks, they're going to have more removal, more interaction in general, and that's just going to make it a little harder for those resource light hands to really function.
Exactly.
And on 5, if you mold a 5 and your 5 is the same hand but 1 card less, that's potentially one less spell you have after I've Lava Coiled, Ether Gusted, whatever.
If I get my 2-drop Ether Gusted when I'm down to 2-3 cards left in hand, it's going to be pretty tough to win. So
yeah,
I think it was worth the risk, but didn't get there.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the types of games that if this were recorded instead of live, we would have
exited that one out.
Yeah, we would have deleted that one and just tried it again. But as it stands, we're going to continue on and push towards our second match of the day.
Yeah.
We're going to be playing Zach Allen's Bant Mass Manipulation deck.
Yep.
We're going to be pitting that against Orzhov Vampires. Now, Zach Keeney's Orzhov Vampires put them all the way into the top 4 of the Open, and Zach Allen won the Classic with his take on Bant Mass Manipulation, the Bant ramp strategy, and it looked really, really solid.
Yep. Exactly. And yeah, Oliver 2 was the original architect of this version of Vampires, and he piloted it all the way to the top 8 of the Mox playoff as well on Saturday. So we should be able to see a very good interactive match. There's going to be some things that aren't going to line up exactly perfect from the band size, like heavy manipulations, and should be a good match.
Yeah, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back for more Versus Live in just a bit after these messages / bumpers.